really riles you up.
I apologize.
It's okay.
I apologize. Time
It's
to
all
talk
good.
basketball with our special guest, all-time Kings icon, Jerry Reynolds. Jerry, I apologize for getting upset about the Little League World Series.
Well, no, that's okay, because I tell you what, I'm a little upset. I was out walking and listening to you guys, and I think I heard correctly that you tried to make a nickname, Trade Lance.
That was Chris Watkins.
I just
said
slid
that.
it in there.
Now, just let me explain something. As Clint Eastwood would say, the great Clint Eastwood, a man's got to know his limitations, and what you're getting into.
Oh, geez.
I mean, that's my territory.
That's
That's kind of like a house painter trying to be Rembrandt. You know
That's
what I'm
my
saying?
bad. Yep, I got you, loud and clear. I'll stay in my lane. I will stay in my lane.
Okay.
I'll leave
All
the
right.
nicknames to the professionals. Whew.
Thank you so much. I've
Gotcha.
worked so hard over the years.
And thank you for clarifying that,
Absolutely.
straighten that out.
Thank you.
Hall of Fame weekend, Jerry, among those going in, Dirk's going in, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, and, of course, Dwayne Wade, and there are others. But it's hard to remember a time when we didn't have the players from other countries in the NBA, Jerry. How significant were Dirk and Pau and Tony Parker and kind of changing the complexion of the NBA in terms of international players?
Well, no question. That's very significant now. I mean, you could make the case that if you had the best, foreign players playing against the best Americans, the best team would be the foreign players.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I mean, I think it probably goes back to the Dream Team a little bit in '92 to create the interest worldwide, and you've got great players truly from all over the world, and certainly that's this Hall of Fame class proves that. And as years go on, we're going to see obviously a lot more.
Were you skeptical of Dirk? Was anybody around the league skeptical of the skinny German kid that came over?
Yeah, a little bit, especially his rookie year. He really wasn't particularly outstanding as a rookie, and and I know they had some questions about how if he's tough enough to compete, all that, but that's why you need patience, and of course with Dirk, and I mean, it's just one of those guys that every year got better, probably. And then I think, he probably with really some good coaching too. I think Nelly was very good for him, and to give him the confidence to, as a 7-footer, to play out on the floor and to utilize him, especially from the elbow. So a lot of things went into it, but my goodness, I mean, at his best, he's about close to unguardable as you get.
Jerry, let's talk about a different Hall of Famer. Whitey brought it to my attention. A member of the NBA's 75th anniversary team doesn't have their number retired by the Sacramento Kings. He started his career with the Kings, played 7 seasons, 7 great seasons. Jerry Lucas. What can you tell us about Jerry Lucas's career, and does he deserve to have his number 16 retired along with Peja?
Well, absolutely deserves it. Was a truly great, one of the great college players in the history of the game. Had, a great career with the Cincinnati Royals. I think he was averaging 20 rebounds and 20 points about every year. And, his career was a champion with the Knicks. Yeah, absolutely. I think, of course, I probably would have a little different take. I kind of feel like you probably, have in Sacramento, it should be the Sacramento Kings jerseys retired, but there ought to be a Hall of Fame wall or something.
That's great.
With all the players that, whether it's, Bob Davies from Rochester and certainly Lucas and Twyman, and of course the great Oscar from Cincinnati, and
Pretty
then
good.
of course Tiny Archibald for sure. Something like that. I don't know. I
Like
mean,
a ring of fame. Yeah.
But a ring of fame kind of thing, because Jerry Lucas, as you pointed out, very wisely pointed out, by the way, that if you're in the top 75, you ought to, come on now.
Yeah. Jerry Reynolds with us here, Sactown Sports. Davion said something on the Do Some Mo podcast this week, Jerry, that it just excites me. He says he's working with Steph Curry's shooting coach. I thought, the way he shoots, he should shoot a higher percentage. How exciting is that to think of Davion? If he can shoot the 3-ball better next year, I mean, how much better does that make him? How much longer can he stay on the floor?
Well, I think that will allow him to be on the floor more, and I think that's good for the Kings. You know, a team, as we talked about, kind of needs a little better defense, and Davion always has an impact that way. So hopefully, that will be a factor. I mean, with Mitchell, I mean, the guy's going to work, and he was better last year than he was his rookie year. And so you're wanting another couple of jumps for sure. So time will tell, but I have a lot of faith in that guy. I just think he does a lot of things to help you win. And I think if the coaches can get a little more faith in his, patience with his offense, I think that it'll pay off.
Jerry, I've been talking a lot this summer about how deep I think this Kings roster is. It really goes like 11 or 12 deep. I mean, forget the starters. You bring in Sasha, you have, Malik Monk, Davion Mitchell, just tons of guys off the bench, like 5 to 6 guys that you can bring off the bench. Chris Duarte. Might it be tough to try and find minutes for everybody this year?
Oh, I think it will be. And I think that's really what you want. I mean, you're not going to be able to play 12, 13 guys every night. But I think the real key there is just what you said. I mean, there's legitimate NBA players on this team. I mean, 11th, 12th men are NBA players that would play for somebody else. And I can tell you from experience, there were years when you get past 7 or 8, they didn't belong in the league.
Yeah.
And probably not on a real good college team. So, so there is that. So I think it's just a real testament to Monty McNair and his staff, because, it's still a star league. We kind of know that, but depth is a factor, and especially when you get into injuries and things like that. And I think they've done a nice job of kind of covering for that eventuality.
To that point, Jerry, we were talking earlier about the teams that are playing on Christmas and opening night, and Phoenix is obviously a team that's really interesting. I could be wrong, but given that their roster appears kind of top heavy, given that Bradley Beal puts up numbers, but I don't know how good he is. I don't think it's going to work in Phoenix. I don't think they're going to be that good. Is there something I'm missing? Am I underestimating how good Durant and Booker and Beal can be?
I don't think so. I'm not a big fan of that mixture either, and especially with Beal and Durant. Really, the last 3 or 4 years have missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
And so at some point, you got to say, well, why all of a sudden are they going to play 75 games?
Right.
So I'm not a fan of that. I think they're a little bit top heavy, and the bench is weak, and I'm not the idea of Beal and Booker. To me, it makes Booker more of a point guard, and I don't think that's his best role. He's a terrific, one of the best off guards in the league, scorer. So we'll see. I wish them the worst because they're in the West.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we appreciate it. By the way, if Chris does have an idea for a nickname, should he run that by you, or should he keep it to himself, or get some tips from? What's the best way? I guess he's swearing.
I'm just going to not do it. That's. I think I'm just going to retire. I think Jerry made it clear that yes, keep that to the professionals. So I will.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be offended if he ran it by me, but I mean, let's not make it public for God's sake.
Okay. We'll put it in a think chamber. Yeah, you can be my. Yeah, I'll just bounce it off of you before I go public with anything.
I appreciate that.
Cool.
Now you're staying in your lane. That's all right. Very important.
Cool. I thought Trade Lance was good, but that's
actually, it did have potential. It really did.
Yeah.
But it's like I say, you're just kind of getting out of your lane there a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay, maybe it's the delivery. I'll try. Okay, you know what? No, I'll just give up. It's
Thanks,
fine.
Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you
Have a
soon.
good week. Take care,
Appreciate it,
guys.
Jerry.
Appreciate it.
Jeez,
I didn't know he was going.
Was not expecting to just catch a stray off the bat there. I mean, sometimes you got to be told, and I appreciate Jerry's honesty. He's a coach. It's what he does.
That's right.
He can't help but to try and make people
Sometimes
better.
some people you coddle them, other people they need to be told.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
He's just trying to make me better, and I appreciate it. I thought it was a little clever. Nobody laughed or anything. You just kept it pushing after I said it. I didn't even think. I thought I said it as you were talking, so I thought it kind of slipped under the radar there. But Jerry's always there to keep me honest. No. So
Jimmy G,
I'm gonna keep those to myself.
Did deserve better. That's coming up next year in the Factor Fantasy Showdown. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.